So, how are we going to start this? God.
It only rings if you believe. Or only jingles if you believe.
Jesus. Hold on.
Yeah, how are we gonna start this one?
I don't know. We're jingling. Stupid dude. I can't believe we're actually doing this.
Mind you, this is a fishing podcast. And we look like
Freaking couple dorks with hats.
we look like we're about to go to the North Pole. You look like you're about to take Santa's job.
You know what? I wanted to be the freaking Grinch, but you got me to wear this Santa crap.
I should have wore an elf hat. You should have wore a Santa suit.
Elf you. Elf you right now. Elf you.
That's funny.
God. Well, hey guys, this is Easton Sights, and I guess I'm Charlie Weir, right, on this one?
Yeah, but I said my name on the last one.
Oh.
So I'm Ethan Sights.
And I'm Charlie Weir,
Yeah.
and this is On the Hook podcast, coming at you live from Lake Okeechobee in Clewiston, Florida.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. And thanks for everybody for all the feedback, everything on our first episode. Awesome. All the thumbs up. Even the sponsors that come on board, which we're going to announce here in a few weeks. So it's pretty cool. And we're very grateful for everything that everybody's doing for us. And it's all on our own. We did our own thing. We're going to do it how we want it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're going to drink a few.
I'm gonna tell you right now, like we, you should have seen the trial. You were here, but these people have no idea the trials and tribulations that we went through to get all that uploaded, to get it, because we're trying to learn. We're learning in this whole process too. So, man, we got some nice lights now because somebody said we needed to get some dang lighting. Mm-hmm. So we got some nice lights.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said I was fat. I'm like, I'm very, very, very proud to be fat, and I'm trying to lose weight. And no, I'm not Santa. I'm an elf, and like him, he passed for elf, but I guess I'm Santa this year. But
I'd be a great elf.
I guarantee you, this year, next time, I'm not gonna look like Santa. Adonis for sure, right? we gotta try.
So yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for the support on the very first one, and the support throughout this week. This has been absolutely amazing. It's hit us like a brick wall. Like, you don't even know how many people are behind you supporting you until they start commenting and stuff. So please keep the comments, keep the likes, keep the shares coming in. We really, really do appreciate it, because doing this stuff is a lot of work. It's a lot more work than some people think. So we really appreciate it when you guys comment, you guys share it and tell us you love it and give us some feedback.
Subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Hit the button.
Please. But thank you guys.
Send money.
Thank you guys, seriously.
Christmas presents.
So let's talk about what happened the past, what was it? No, it was a little, like towards the end of, not last week, the week before last, right towards the end, that big cold front, the big wind, all that wind. You remember going to bed that night, we shook the whole, it shook the whole dang camper.
It shook both of our campers.
I mean, I thought I was about to flip.
We had 25-mile-an-hour sustained winds, 40-mile-an-hour gust, and we were supposed to go out that next morning. And I'm like, that's not going to happen.
Wasn't there a small craft advisory until 10 a.m.?
10 a.m., 11 a.m., small craft advisory. It literally felt like a hurricane trying to flip the camper over. So that was pretty crazy. It broke one of the tents, had to fix that. And I was worried about our TV tent with a big 65-inch TV in there. I totally forgot about taking that down. It survived, so it was pretty wild. Then you wake up and it's cold, and I woke up at 6, and I'm like, man, why is it so hot in here? It's cold in the room, and the other room's hot, and my fiance's up there cranking the heater. 5'3" little Asian woman. It's like she was cold, cold. I'm like, man, I had to shut the door. It was too hot in there.
That's funny.
It's like, she does not like the cold at all.
Yeah, no, I see why she doesn't either, because I've been back home in Tennessee for a little bit, and wow, wow,
20s.
It was freezing.
20s.
It was freezing. It was absolutely freezing. I love it down here. I like it down here. I'm gonna stay down here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you came down. It's going to be great. We're doing a lot of great things, and we're going to have some fun and catch some fish. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
Get some people out there on guide trips, catch some fish.
For sure. And there's never better a time than book than right now, and we're gonna get into that during this podcast. We're gonna get into that a lot in this episode, because January and February is
lights out.
It's the time.
It's lights out.
It's gonna happen.
I mean, I was going through some of my pictures in my Rolodex and my phone, and it's an amazing amount of big fish that we caught in January, February.
Oh.
I mean, a ton.
Oh yeah.
And the trips are coming in. I got booked a whole bunch of trips right before Christmas. repeats, and Ethan got some trips coming down, and it's starting to book up. It's starting to fly. I can go over to Roland's now and see, since we got back and the phones are ringing off the hook and people are coming down. The campgrounds are starting to fill up, and hotels, and everybody's cooking around here. Everybody wants to get out of that cold up north. They just had that huge storm up there, 3, 4, 5 feet of snow. It's time to get out of the north, come down and do some fishing.
Yeah, 100%. It's time. It's time to do it. So let's So now that people are going to be coming down here, right? So let's talk about what's going on like right now. So if somebody were to go fishing tomorrow, day after Christmas, let's say you want to go, you've spent your time with your family, you've got these new fishing rod stuff, you want to go put that boat in the day after Christmas, you want to go fishing. What would they expect to go catch them on? What should they tie on tonight?
Tonight, I'd be tying on a speed worm, Cinco, a chatterbait, a rattle trap for sure. And if it gets warm enough in the afternoon, throw a frog. And if you guys want to throw shiners, perfect time to throw shiners. Catch a big fish. Rollins has tons of them. Good price and all that stuff. And we just go out catching fish. I mean, it's going to be large numbers of fish, and larger fish are starting to show up right before the holidays. The 5 and 6s and 7s start to show up, and those 8s and 9s are going to show up here. You know, if not already, are going to be showing up here in the next few weeks. There's a lot of big fish in this lake, and they're coming. They're ready to go. They're ready to go.
It's going to be really cool. I can't wait to get out there. I can't wait to get out there like tomorrow. Get after it. I'm going to be flipping my Cinco for a little while. That's another bait that I would add to his little plethora of baits that he just said. I like flipping. I got to have a flipping bait on there, and I'm going to flip a Cinco around some laid down reeds and just see what I can do with it, because it's been a player all the way up. It's still been a player for me. Like before that cold front hit, I was catching a few on it. Once that cold front hit, I started to kind of go back in the thick of it and catch them. But that bite kind of slowed down on me just flipping the sparsy stuff. But once the cold front left, I was catching them. I was catching them pretty good out in the laid down reeds.
Lay down reeds, and then you can get off the bank a little bit where all the dead flipped upside down reed heads are, and you get out there and slow row that speed worm. Slow row that. Oh, another bait I forgot is a spinnerbait. Spinnerbait's going to be good too.
I don't know why I didn't think of that. I threw the crap out of that before when we went out that Wednesday before that thunderstorm was supposed to hit. I threw the crap out of it then. I didn't even think of a dang spinnerbait. I should have said that.
I got your back.
Yeah, see, that's what makes us a good team, you know. We bounce ideas off each other. We get in the boat together. We get to have some really, really good times.
I mean, there's one bait that a lot of people haven't thrown down here. I can't give that one up yet. It's another nugget.
Nugget. I need to make like a little
a nugget list.
Like a little thing right here. When he
Stop.
says nugget, just like ta-ting.
Ta-ting, stop.
It's like a little bell, just nugget. That way you guys like don't want to sit around for the whole hour or 30 minute long podcast.
Waiting for it.
You can just skip. You see a little chicken nugget. That's what it needs to be, a McDonald's chicken nugget.
Nugget right there. Nugget.
Pop up right
Boom.
there.
A nugget.
A Charlie nugget.
Jerkbait. Jerkbait.
Yep.
We've been live scoping them. They're coming in on beds, and you can catch them on a jerkbait. You can catch them on a drop shot, and the other little nugget, you can catch them on an Alabama rig, which guys don't do.
What?
I haven't showed you that one.
All right, you've got to explain that, because I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been up when I was up in Tennessee visiting some family before Christmas time. I was throwing an Alabama rig a lot down there on the river, catching some big smallmouth, and I left all my A-rig stuff back home. So you got to spill the beans on that one. Drop it's
little nugget.
It's the nugget.
The nugget. All I'm going to say on this podcast, maybe in a couple more I'll give it, but an Alabama rig will work shallower than you think. Bait wise, I'm not giving that up yet. Actually, I have a few more coming. Guys making a few more for me. And they're specialized in a certain way that I like that I made them myself, and we're going to have some television coverage or film coverage that we're going to do, and I'm going to show you how to throw it out here and what to do with it. And this guy that makes them, you're going to blow him up, and you're going to buy the heck out of him after we catch him out here on it. I did it last year. I haven't even told Ethan about it, and I caught him good on it.
Yeah,
I caught him good on it.
That's how much I thought an Alabama rig would work down in Florida. I left them all at the house.
They work.
I didn't even when I was packing up some last minute tackle things to bring back down here with me. I didn't even think. I looked at them things on the pegboard and I was like, no, there's no need. There's no need to bring them. Well, I should have brought them. Because them things ain't cheap.
They ain't cheap.
They ain't cheap. You put a bunch of swim baits on that thing on the chandelier like that, and it gets pretty pricey.
Something else, but not swim baits. I'll tell you later.
All right, see, I'm so lost on this. I am so lost on this. I don't even know what the heck.
Something else. It works. You got to change a few things on it, but it works. Because I messed the last couple of years. I messed a lot. I messed around with a lot, and finally figured out what I was doing wrong with it. And then started chewing them. They started chewing it.
I'm gonna have to learn this, and I'm gonna have to get on here on a solo podcast and tell y'all all about it.
Now, the other thing that's going to start working here too, in after Christmas, January, is flipping a jig. Because all these big females are going to come up and lay up on these reed heads, and they're going to start spawning on those I talked in the first podcast that how those big, you never pass a individual reed or 2 or 3 clumps of reed. That time in January and February is when you go by and flip those, and you catch some freaking giants, big ones. Last year I caught 2 over 9 in one day, and throughout the week I caught several 5 and 6s. Just throwing a medlock double weak guard jig, or whoever you like, the gambler double weak guard jig, any of those with whatever trailer you want on 65-pound braid, and you flip every single reed you could find. It's kind of sparse. And the big ones like to lay. I mean, I caught big ones in South Bay. I caught big ones up north, but it's a bait that is a big time player. If you're just looking for a big bite and don't want to catch a lot of little fish, just keep a jig in your hand. You're going to catch a big one. You throw it. If you're down here for 2 or 3, 4 days, want to catch one between 9 and 10, you keep a jig in your hand, you'll catch it. You'll catch that big fish for sure.
Well, how many times do you go across the country and guys that weigh in big fish or win big fish at the tournament, how many times do they say they caught it on a jig? It's more times than none. I mean, it's been a staple in bass fishing. It's been a big fish bait, and it continues to shine. I mean, it is the state of Florida. You got to be throwing a jig.
Something's wrong with my dilly.
It's taking me everything not to sit here and just.
I know.
Jingle. Sound like the sled coming down.
But yes, we're on the Hook podcast with Santa hats and reindeer floats and sparkles, and
we have a good time.
How come my stock is not full of stuff, Ethan? Oh yeah, that's right. We already opened presents. I forgot.
Yeah, we did open presents. Now we're sitting here talking and posting a podcast and getting ready to go fishing tomorrow.
I won't tell you what he bought me. Coal. Chunk of coal is what I got.
For the amount of dang video footages I've had where you sit in front of the camera. Well, it's not recording. Wait on it. Beep. 3-second footage. Beep. 5 second. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'm learning.
You're learning it.
I'm learning.
You're learning it. We're trying to step up in the world.
Little bit. So, current conditions, fish are heating up, catching them on almost everything you want to catch them on. Water temperatures in the mid 70s to 80s. It's going to be pretty stable. I don't see any other cold fronts coming in, but we welcome cold fronts because every time there is a cold front, more fish come up to spawn. So I hope we have 1 or 2 more before the MLF in February. I want this whole frickin' lake to come to the bank. I mean, it's dumb. When you get into some areas, it's insane how many people are just catching fish all over you. I mean, last year in Scott Martin's tournament, he was telling his camera guy, "Don't tell me they're catching fish. Don't tell me." And everybody around him, there was like 90 boats in the MLF hole, and everybody's catching fish.
Wow,
it was insane. Even in the I was a Bassmasters in the Toyota. I was up there. Everybody was catching fish. It's just I don't know where they come from. I know where they come from, but it's just how do they all know to come at one time?
Right. Let's hit on that too. Like, why is it so much in the state of Florida and fishing on these big Florida bodies of water that you can go down for a bank for miles and not be around boats? And like, yeah, you may catch 1 or 2 here and there, but you're not blowing the gates off. If you're blowing the gates off, if you're winning tournaments, more times than none, you're around other fishermen all day.
All day.
To the point where, like, if you were on a body of water back home, you wouldn't want to fish there because there's too many boats. But why is that a good thing here?
That's just where they're coming. I mean, everybody gets in there. By the end of the day, you know everybody's names. You're talking. You're carrying on, and it just I don't understand why they flood into 4 or 5 or 6, 7 different areas. I mean, you can catch a fish here and there, and then you'll roll down and you'll see 5 or 6 boats every single, or 10 or 15. Everybody's catching fish. But you go 200 yards that way, you're not catching anything. But you're in that 400 or 500 yard stretch. everybody's catching fish. It's crazy.
Absolutely crazy to me.
Makes no sense.
I never understood that because like I just said, like if I'm back home and I see that many boats in an area when I'm practicing, I'll just go on to the next area. I'm like, there's just too many boats here. I'm not gonna be able to get on nothing. But that's a good thing down here that you're around a lot of other boats for some reason.
Unless you're on some monster bag thing that you found off the wall, whatever. If you're not catching them, I mean, honestly, go find the guides, go find the fishermen around, stay away from them, don't try to encroach on them. But I mean, in that area, there's plenty of fish. I mean, if you're not around someone, you're not catching them. That's just how it is here. And everybody knows that's the situation here in the community holes, and you just got to get sit there and grind with them.
You just got to get in there. Like we call it, I've always called it a carousel. Like you'll see guys, you'll see a bunch of boats making circles around like islands of grass, big open area. You'll just see guys going in on their trolling motors in circles, and they're all kind of in a line, all in one big circle. And then you'll just see like a good gap between one boat and the next boat, and you're like, all right, well, there's an open horse. I'm gonna go on and get in there, and you just got to get in and keep going with everybody else. And everybody is catching them. I mean, everybody.
Last year in that MLF tournament, I started in an area close to Rollins and thought I had the mother load all to myself on a frog and caught a 4.5 pounder, and then it died. I said, okay, I got to go north. I go up north, and I idle in between everybody in a little 50-yard stretch where I knew that more likely nobody was setting. I sat there and caught almost 20 pounds in like 20 minutes.
That's
and
crazy.
And there was at least 75 or 80 boats around me watching me catch them, and everybody around me was catching them. It's just, I don't know, it's nuts. There's not a lake like this where they just everybody pulls up in an area.
Well, I've seen it go down on like Kissimmee before. But I mean, that's another Florida lake, though.
It happens here more. And the only other place I've ever seen that happen in grass, I've seen it on Gunnersville, and I've seen it on California Delta in Frank's Track, and I saw it at Clear Lake a bunch of times.
I've seen it on Gunnersville happen, but it's very rare if people are okay with that because everybody wants you to back off of them over there. I mean, granted, we're still down here. We're still in respectable distance of each other. We're not on top of each other, but we can all have a normal conversation with the boat next to us. It's fish is closer than most people.
Well, if they get too close, to say I'm going to jump in your boat and have a sandwich.
Jump in your boat, have a picnic. I'm going to jump in the boat and eat your lunch.
You're bad. He's bad.
But I also had a couple people message me or talk to me in the tackle shop over here and ask me like, hey, how's the Big Easy Bite been going? Because I know we hit on the Big Easy Bite last podcast, and they kind of wanted an update on that because I love throwing a Big Easy. I've had people back home, they know how much I love to throw a Big Easy, so I know I've been seeing it progress more and more and more. When that cold front came in around like, when was it, the 12th, when the cold front came in on the 12th, that really kind of slowed it down. Now that it's gotten warmer, it's been getting a lot better.
Yeah, that Big Easy Bite, it's another slow deal. I know I use that screw lock owner bladed 6-aught in it, so I can sit there and slow. It's weighted a little bit with a little blade on it, and I reel that thing super slow, almost like I would my Alabama rig. It's like same kind of deal, but it's just a real slow thing when it starts to get when that water temperature starts heating up over 72, 73, 74, especially you get to 75. You find the pads, you find what grass you can find. They're going to be in it. They're going to explode on it. So you start seeing everything moving around, the baitfish, the shad, the birds, alligators, like they're on that Big Easy, and they're on it now. They'll crush it. They'll take it out of your hand. They'll take that thing out of your hand.
I'm throwing mine in a little bit different setup. It's the same concept. I throw mine on a 5-aught BKK Titan hook with a 16th ounce tungsten weight pegged. But same concept though. Same exact concept. You reel it, you throw it into some of the most thickest things that you'd think to throw it into. You throw it into pads, you throw it into sparse stuff, you throw it in open water, and gosh, it is the most fun bite
like how
you can throw down here.
Like you're talking about that BKK with a 5-aught. I use that too with the tungsten weight. That's reeling it like over the top of the stuff. What I'm doing is I'm slow rolling on the bottom, hitting everything, and you're more reeling over the top of everything.
Yeah.
And I do it. We do it both ways for sure.
Most of my bites I get on it, I will I may not see the bait itself, but I will see like a flash of green when that fish will come up and just roll underneath the surface on it, or I'll see just like a swirl under the surface, or I'll see something that indicates a bite. I'll see it more than I'll feel it.
Right.
And it's yeah, I've been catching a few on it though. I've been catching a few here and there. I'm not burning the gates down, but I can put a limit in the boat with it now. I can now say I can go out and put a limit in the boat on a Big Easy. So that's pretty promising. I don't know if I could break 20 pounds with it, but I can definitely put a quick limit in the boat.
Any day now.
Any day.
We keep saying any day now, but we get these cold fronts and more fish move in. As soon as we get that stable weather, as soon as all this weather gets out of the northern part of the United States and start giving us all these cold fronts, this place is going to be blasting. And the cool thing about it, the water temperature coming down, the rattle trap bite, I don't know if I mentioned that before, the rattle trap bite, the middle of January was 25, 28-pound bags, and we had several of them. And I'm not kidding. Their rattle trap bite was stupid. South Bay, North, it was the show everywhere. It was cooking. And 20-pound test line, Seagar Abrasics I like to throw, 7.5-foot power rod, Yozuri rattle trap, hard knocker, not hard knocker, whatever you want to throw, chrome blue, chrome black. That was the two major colors. And then you could throw, if you want to throw gold, rattle trap in the morning worked, and then you mix in with a spinnerbait. A lot of big fish were caught. A lot of my clients caught big fish on rattle traps and spinnerbaits last spring, and the Big Easy too.
Yeah, I've been throwing a gold and black TN60 jackal trap, and that Talk and Tackle has a bunch of those jackal traps in stock. You can give them a call and you could order them. They're really, I really do like the TNs, especially if I'm trying to rip it up off the bottom. But if I'm reeling one, I really do like that Yozuri too. I do like a Yozuri trap.
And they bite it. I know some guys like to throw braid on their traps. We got the new braid that you just introduced me to. I'm sorry.
That cast braid.
The cast braid. And stuff's slick, stuff's quiet, and they chew it. They chew it. You can bomb it out there. For some reason, they stop biting it. Like, these fish will get conditioned to line, and no matter how good the braid is, you'll be catching them, and all of a sudden they'll turn off, and then you switch over to fluorocarbon, you start catching them again. And sometimes even a heavier fluorocarbon, you got to go down to like 15, you start catching them on 15. I don't like to go less than that because you get broke off.
Yep.
There's too many upside down, flipped up reed heads on the bottom. You get torn up.
I just lost my pom-pom. And my bell. There went that thing, scarf.
Hey, you can borrow mine.
This thing is hot anyway.
So we want to mention while we're gone, before Christmas, Roland Martin's Marine had the big championship. It was $40,000 for the winner.
Yes,
and there was like 145 boats.
Those guys went out there and braved that lake right after that cold front hit too. So my hats are off to each and every one of y'all for getting out there and getting after it. I've seen the boat ramps were still packed. Like, these guys were still getting out there. They're still getting after it. You got to respect that hustle.
Yeah, that's my fiance was saying. Somebody was saying, is like, how come you're not out there when they're fishing? I'm like, well, I'm letting them, giving them a little space. But I'd be, if I was fishing that tournament, I'd be out there every day in the cold front. It wouldn't bother me. We just go. You just got to find where the big fish are coming up. I mean, you're not going to win it if you're in it. And if you're in it, you better be out there fishing. Period. Kind of like when everybody's going to come down here after Christmas.
Oh yeah.
In the New Year, and we get out there at sun up to sundown. However you want to go. You want to go 4, 6, 8 hours, 12, 14. I'll go. I don't care. I don't need to sleep. Sleep when you die. Let's go fishing.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's hit on that Roland Martin thing one last time here. Man, I was able to sneak over there to weigh in just for a little while and watch a couple guys come in, a couple guys weigh in their bags. There were some pretty good bags weighed in. I seen a couple big fish walk across the scales, but man, what a good, well run, well organized tournament. So the staff there that runs the Roland Martin Marine tournaments, like, hats off to them. I can't wait to start fishing those. That's going to be so much fun. Because you're going up against, I mean, you get an opportunity to go head-to-head against some of the best fishermen around here. On Lake Okeechobee.
And Florida.
Just around Florida in general.
You have Bassmaster champions, FLW champions, you have Angler of the Years, you have everybody. I mean, people are coming down from all over to fish those events.
And you get an opportunity to go out there and test your mettle against that caliber of an angler. That's an amazing opportunity to be able to go in there and fish them. So I'm pretty excited to start fishing those next year.
Next year.
I can't.
We're almost there.
Almost. It's almost. We got. What's today? December 25th. We got how many How many more? How many more days?
To Christmas? No, to the New Year's is...
Till New Year's?
6 days to New Year's.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
And then January. I just turned 55 on the 18th, so now I'm old, ARP.
Happy late birthday.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know where you were, but... No, I was kidding.
I'm going to have to...
Had a good birthday. It was fun.
I guess I'm going to have to kind of start getting some... got to make sure your wheel's right, because if you decide to just, you never know. Like, one more stub toe, one more trip and fall. I mean... We could be out here singing Amazing Grace. So we got to make sure I get the boat. Got to make sure I get the truck at least. Other than that, no, I don't care.
I'll leave him a crankbait. One crankbait, that's all you get. And this Santa hat. So
yeah, we got January and February coming up though. Man, I'm getting booked up. Are you getting booked up?
My February is almost completely booked. I probably have like 6 days left, and January's over halfway booked. March is over halfway booked.
This is going to be a really...
April has... we're only here for like 15, 18 days in April, and I don't even know if I think I have a couple days left in April, so...
It's going to be off the rails. I can't wait to see what happens. I got so many dang phone calls. I got so many texts and stuff. Like, excuse me. I've been trying to get back with people and say, like, they've been wanting to go one day, and I'm like, no, that day's booked. They're like, well, what about this day? And I'm like, no, that one's booked. Can you do this one? And somewhere in the middle, they're like, no, we can't do that one. I'm like, well, dang, let me see if I can call around and find another guide, maybe, if you can't do any of these dates that I have available. And it's like, holy crap.
And like we were talking about before, I mean, interrupt you, keep going.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
We're not just doing guide trips, we're doing instructional guide trips. If you have a couple people, a group of people, you want to bring your boat down, you want to learn the electronics from Ethan or myself, and we can reorganize your whole boat, reorganize your tackle, we can reorganize how you go out, and we can pattern fish, we can find patterns inside of patterns and show you, and the whole 9 yards, and we'll be there right with you every step of the way and take care of everything you need.
He said the whole 9 yards.
Yards. I learned that from Terry. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Terry. 9 yards. I do my wash. Go over yonder. I don't understand. I'm learning all kinds of new languages around
You
here.
should have heard him yesterday when he brought that new motorhome in there. He's like, I want to get me some tars.
Tars.
I'm like,
tars.
Whoa.
Where's some tars? I don't know what a tar is. You're a tire guy. You own a tire shop, but he called them tars. I don't get it. You come down here, we have all kinds of fun. We drink some drinks, and we got Truman Reserve and some Blue Note. We got some beers around, and
having a good time.
And learning some new languages, and we'll have some fun. Come on down.
Exactly. Like January and February are going to be wide open. So I'm going to reiterate and say this, that there is not a better time to go ahead and just give us a call and get on the schedule as soon as possible, because the dates are really filling up very, very, very quickly.
Very fast.
Very quickly. But anyways, as you guys can tell, though, we haven't even addressed this yet. We got all this Christmas stuff around here. It is Christmas Day. So we want to wish you guys, from us at On the Hook Guide Fishing, to you guys back at home, to you guys watching us from your computers, wherever you may be, we want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, and we hope you have a Happy New Year. And we also do want to we want to make sure you guys think about those people that are overseas serving our country that cannot be here for Christmas Day. Keep their families in your thoughts and prayers, and keep praying for their safety, because we cannot do what we do if it wasn't for those guys over there.
Our freedom and privileges is all because of those previous vets, and our serving military overseas and here in the States.
Exactly. So thank you guys so much for your service. We hope you guys all have a very Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. Give us a call today. Get on our schedule. Get booked up. Let's have a really good January through March, and let's get you guys out on the water. We can't wait to have y'all.
That sounds good.
I'm good.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, guys.
Merry Christmas. Thank y'all for watching.
On the Hook Podcast. We'll see you on the next one.
It's 28 minutes.
Perfect.
That was a perfect, little short one. Christmas Day, little short.
Dude, that's strong. Woo! We're still rolling.
We are still rolling.
Okay, let's talk about the juice now.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Next time we'll talk about the Nuggets.